Hello everyone and welcome back to WOR here at Silverstone, sunny Silverstone in fact as well. And yeah, getting into round 4 of the championships. I'm going to be commentating this video basically straight after the race happened. Only a few hours have gone by because I'm going to be out of the UK. I'm taking a mini break away over these next week. So I'm going to be missing PSGL and then back for the next round of WOR on Sunday. So yeah, getting this video out ASAP and recording this at 1 o'clock in the morning before I need to leave for my train. Not too long. Not too long. But anyway, getting back to the point. We are here in Q1 and our first lap is going to be enough to be putting us through into Q2. So of course was able to save a set of soft compound tyres. In Q2 this is our first lap on a brand new set of tyres as well. And you can see we're up 2 tenths compared to our worn tyre run, and we're looking really strong on this lap, coming into the final chicane, able to pick our apexes up nicely, letting the car rotate, and we're going to be just under 3 tenths up on our delta across the start-finish line, and we go P2 with that lap. So it was more than enough to put us through, but we have the tyres anyway, so we thought we might as well go out for another run to have a bit of fun. Was able to improve by another half a tenth, and that was able to put us through into P2 again.
Okay, I need the fan for the...
So yeah, it's been a very successful qualifying session so far. It's probably my most successful session on this game cycle as well. Q3 first run, new set of tyres, and you can see provisionally we go P1 with a 25.2. That does turn into P2 again. So we've been P2 3 consecutive runs in a row, but now we're going to ride on board fully for our final lap here in qualifying, and we're going to be breaking the car down, letting the car rotate, switching over to the right hand side of the track and letting the car hook around the apex. Back to the power, the rear tire squirming for grip, not really hooked up perfectly, but it was pretty half decent with that being said. Into the end of the first sector, you can see we do a 2.24, was there or thereabouts, not perfect but not bad, and we're letting the car just float and glide around the apexes. It was pretty decent through Luffield, but we just touched the inside curbing that unsettled the balance of the car, so it was a bit unoptimal, but still going to be 0.7 up on our lap through Copse Corner, and you see we get a bit unlucky with the bumps around Copse Corner and we lost a little bit of time. Nothing really I can do there from a driving standpoint. Through Mags and Beckett, through the left, through the right, and now on the back straight here, just under 1 tenth up on our delta with a 0.89. So it's been pretty good so far, all things considered. Into the final apex, is down to 6, let the car rotate, back to power, full commitment, and now into the final chicane. What can we do? Down the gears, into 4th, let the car rotate, a bit deep on the first apex, but we was able to recover it quite a bit for the second and find a 0.6 improvement. What goes P3 provisionally, what turns into P5 on the grid. Starting on the what is going to be the medium compound tires, and yeah, it's going to need to be an absolute rocket launch of a start, and there's a bit of carnage to be honest. Ismail Fassi got a drive-through penalty for starting and jumping the start, but we need to keep our focus to ourselves and going around the outside of our Cowerton. We're going to look around the outside of Tamas Gal as well, and we're just going to be able to find a gap around the outside, deep on the brakes, around the outside. Can we get around the outside of Tom Manley? No, not quite. We get a snap of oversteer, and that is going to hinder our ability to get the car rotated and get it efficiently momentum going forward. That being said though, we're still coming out of the first sector in P3, starting P5, and we're on the medium compound tyres. So that's been a very, very successful opening
how much
sectors of the race.
Like, when does this tyre become worse?
So you can hear me asking, when will Jarno's soft compound tyre become worse than our medium compound tyre? So I know how I can strategize at defending and attacking the cars around me. Okay. So you see, already we're through the starting phase, and already we're starting to think how we can strategically plan ourselves for the remainder of this stint and the race as well. Right up behind Tom, a bit of understeer there as we go through Mags and Beckett for the first time. in this race. You can see following pretty closely, but we know that Jarno is going to be wanting to push us as hard as possible. Coming into this race, we're 7 points behind Jarno in the Drivers' Championship, and we're looking to try and claim
Just getting the update on the
championship this race. You can see Jarno on his soft compound tyres going to the inside, and we don't really fight it on this occasion because I know that his tyres are so much better at this point in the race, and me wasting my battery trying to fight him might work for a handful of laps, but overall it's just not going to be worth it. The same story with Joris as well. You can see we go a bit defensive, but we still have 70% of our battery. We're not really wanting to risk too much. We use a bit on the exit here to see if we can retain the position, squeeze into the inside, just trying to find a gap with Tom Manley up ahead as well. But yeah, as long as it's not going to cost us too much battery, we do try to defend and not make anyone else's life too easy. But as we're going to be coming later on into lap 5, we're going to be retaking that position of Joris immediately, and you can see opening up the DRS, got the overtake button, fully committed all the way down the straight, and this is going to be a critical overtake down the inside, fully committed down to 5th gear, let the car rotate, and now we're back up into P4 and fully aware that the soft compound tyres are starting to degrade and our mediums are coming into their own. Lap 7, start of lap 8 here, and now you can see all over the back of Jarno. And as I was talking about, those soft compound tyres are starting to degrade around the outside. We're going to be on the inside line for the braking, so easy to lock up here and make contact, but we keep the car under control, let the car rotate, and now through the left-hander, just about making wheel-to-wheel contact. But this is fantastic racing side by side. Now getting the slipstream off Thomas up ahead was going to help us down this straight. Thomas also blocks Jarno for us, and that's going to make our lives much easier going around the outside to claim back into P3 ahead of Jarno Otmir, our championship rival.
Pass a thank you to along to Thomas, please.
And you hear me say pass a thank you along to Thomas because he really helped me in that situation to cover off the inside line to reduce Jarno's options. And now you can see on lap 9 here of this race, this is where the DRS train is really going to come into full fruition, and you're going to see lap after lap after lap after lap after lap of just working with each other, and just how powerful the slipstream and DRS in this game, that this is just the most efficient way to go through a racing scenario on this year's game cycle. You can see now lap 11, Tom Manley goes back past us, and we're just going to fight it a little bit on the exit, but not really trying too hard as well. No point in risking an overtake in this corner on this part of the race for what would be P2. And now you can see lap 12, going past on the DRS again. This time Thomas was able to follow us through what was quite big and useful for our strategic options as Sauber to be P1 and P2 in this race. You can see now Tom Manley and Thomas Ronhard coming back past, and I just put over to the left because I'm not fighting the DRS. I'm working with them at this moment in time because yeah, it's just too powerful to fight. But Tom instantly goes into the box. Well, I was a bit surprised at that, to be honest, but I think other people were surprised as well because it was the only person to box on that lap. You can see lap 14, we were thinking about boxing on this lap as a responder, but we decided to continue to go long. Ryan, my engineer, made a fantastic call behind the scenes here to stick to our guns, to go longer in this stint. And you can see Thomas is going back past us on the DRS, but he's going to be going longer than us anyway. So we're going to peel off into the pit lane on lap 15 of this race and start covering off the strategy. Well, again, to be honest, was a fantastic call by Ryan because he was able to box with Tamas behind us and were able to run into a good defensive position versus Jarno and also Joris as well. Tom Manley, who undercut us, is going to be a bit too far ahead.
And Tom, Jarno. Will we be near Jarno's DRS? Because I doubt we'll be with Tom.
You can hear me saying...
Tom's going to be by himself, I think.
I doubt we're going to be near Tom's DRS, but we're going to be near Jarno and Joris, and that's my target here. You can see Tom Manley does the fastest lap of the race here on the starting lap 16. But coming off the pit limiter, there is Jarno, there is Joris as well, and we're going to be ahead of them, and of course we're going to play some DRS chicken and try to get the advantage. But Jarno, a wily, amazing racer, full of experience, full of wisdom, knowledge as well, is not going to fall for that one that easily. So we had to retain the track position, and now we have quite the gap closed down to Tom Manley, 2.1 seconds but I was very confident. I felt very sure at this point we could start closing down that gap. We have a fresher set of compounder tyres, we have a decent level of batteries, so even if we didn't have the DRS to work with other people, I believe we could start hunting that gap down, just clawing away at it step by step and letting our raw pace in this race coming to fruition and do what we need to do. Purple in the middle sector, and as you can see now, the rest of the medium runners are boxed onto the soft compound tyres, and we are easily ahead of them. You can see Tamas was actually able to get ahead of us and do a bit of DRS swapping as well, but now Thomas Ronhaar has arrived on the scene also with fresher compound tyres, so we're able to work with our teammate in even more efficient fashion to continue working forward. You can see lap 19, Tom Manley is only 1.9 seconds ahead now, so we're really clawing that gap in on the fresher compound tyres, and this is a critical final sector for us, absolutely pivotal in this race. 1.2 seconds up ahead, and you can see we're throwing the car in with full aggression and using a bit more battery to close into that DRS zone to be starting lap 2021. You can see coming across the line, it's just over 1 second and a bit more squirt of the battery on the pit straight, and we find ourselves 8 tenths away as we're going to be going into the DRS detection line, so we are solidly inside his DRS zone into the right hand. The car is still handling beautifully. You could see it just rotating like a dime and being absolutely lovely to drive in the moment. So you can see lap 21 still here. We're able to close the gap down to 3-4 tenths. As soon as you get in the slipstream on this year's game, it's so powerful to close in, especially a track like Silverstone. But we're not going to pass him immediately. We're going to take the opportunity to start saving our battery back up to 100%, and then we're going to go for the move. Lap 22, we have the fresher tyres, almost 100% battery. Thomas right behind us, and we're able to go through as one, as unison, be taking P1 and P2 back in this race as Sauber flying united during this race. Lap 23 now, again back to the DRS swapping. It gets a bit boring to commentate this, to be honest. Yeah, every lap just swap and swap again. Lap 24, you can see, was a bit too far behind at the end of the straight and at the start of the straight, because Thomas did a really fantastic Mags and Beckett and I wasn't able to keep up in that sequence on this lap. So he was just a bit too far ahead. Lap 25, again, he used a bit of battery coming out of the Mags and Beckett section, what meant he was quite far behind going onto the straight, so he was not able to get the move done into Stowe Corner. But now, riding fully on board here with the final lap of Silverstone, we are going to have a fantastic opportunity to be taking the championship lead and also a race victory. And we are going to try and maximize our sectors here into the rotation sector of the first sector here in Silverstone. Key to pick up rotation, as I just mentioned. There's actually been a crash at the back of the track with the only Automata. What was a bit strange. I haven't actually seen what happened there, so I look forward to seeing what actually happened. But you can see right up behind, Thomas Ronhaar, as Alvaro Carlton and Tom Manley are going to battle behind us. And that's actually going to make our lives so much easier because we're able to pull away and they have to use their battery battling each other. So it's going to make our job and Thomas's job a lot easier on this back straight and much lower risk as we close in all the way to the back of Tom, us, into Magnus and Beckett, and then through the left, through the right. We have to pick up the traction as early as possible, open up the DRS on the overtake button in the slipstream. Can we take the race lead? Sweeping around the outside, we do get the race lead on the final lap of the race here, and this is pivotal, it's critical, it is amazing for our championship battle, and Jarno is going to be finishing probably down in about 7th place after penalties are applied and taken away in certain situations. So we're going to be almost having a 20-point swing in the championship, and we went into this race 7 points down, and before the stewards have really done anything, and I'm just speculating a little bit, but we should be only 13 points ahead of Jarno going into next race. And I say only because that can change in a click of a second, but to be in the championship lead after 4 races here and to take a podium in every single race has been what a start to our season, and really I'm so happy. more than I could have ever expected coming to the start of this game cycle, to be honest. And we're building from strength to strength, confidence to confidence, and it's really flowing in a nice way at the moment. So I'm really happy with the progress. So yeah, we should have about a 13-point lead going into next race. So yeah, I look forward to then. I feel good. I feel confident. But with that also being said, as I said at the start of the video, I'm recording this video at like now it's 1:25 in the morning. So my commentary probably hasn't been the sharpest. My editing probably hasn't been the sharpest, but I really hope you appreciate the video anyway. Just simply because, like I say, I'm going away. I'm out of home for this next few days, basically the whole week. So yeah, pushing hard to get this video up before I leave to make sure that you can have at least some content to enjoy when I'm away. So with that all being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Grazie, ciao ciao, bye bye.